Senator Moe.
Yeah, I want to apologize for being a little late. I'm on this, you know, we have our own Department of Homeland Security, and there's a group and I'm part of it, that we meet quarterly. But and welcome to Saddlebrooke. This is just the tip of the iceberg of the biggest Republican club in the universe, knocking on the door of 1,000 members. But talking about the Giffords and this person who's going to be running on her behalf, so to speak, but there's 3 votes that I know where you stand, and I'd like to see them come up, that were made by the person who was there before. Voted for Obamacare, voted for cap and trade, and voted to get rid of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And I know how you would have voted on all 3, but I think all 3 need to be addressed.
Yeah, I agree, and you know that is part of our platform, that we will oppose and fight and repeal Obamacare as soon as we possibly can. You got to get enough of us up there that can get that done. The government has no business getting involved to the degree they are in the healthcare decisions of the citizens of this country. That's #1 a states' rights issue, and it's more of an individual issue than anything else. The individual has a right to choose their healthcare. Cap and trade. I keep thinking of that, and I'm like, you know, the energy stuff that we talk about up there. We have an abundance of natural resources in this country. We are the Saudi Arabia of coal. Okay, we have more coal that can hundreds and hundreds of years. We can burn it and mine it 24/7, and we wouldn't be able to burn it all. And we're hamstringing ourselves. And this current president talks about how he wants to lower our dependence on foreign oil. He's doing the exact opposite. Cap and trade increases our dependence on foreign oil. It prohibits us from using our coal here in the United States or other fossil fuels, and forces us to go get stuff from other countries. And most of them are not really good pals of ours. But that's a mistake. Cap and trade is bad. You know what it does? You guys understand what it does? It jacks up the electric utility rates of everybody in this country. The residential rates, the commercial rate, it will become more expensive to manufacture, more expensive to transport goods, and you're going to pay that price, because what's going to happen, those jobs and those companies are going to leave this country, and they're going to go somewhere where it's cheaper to do business. And they think that's what they want, though. That's what they want. I would like to see us go the other. The coal industry has done marvelous things with technology, and they've invested billions in clean coal technology to be able to burn coal without having any of the damaging effects that were done during the early industrial revolution. We can burn coal cleanly now in this country. We have nuclear fuel in this country. We build another 40 reactors in this country. We can power the entire electrical grid and have electricity left over that we can sell it and export it. And it's clean, 0 emissions. And we've got a lot of places that are very safe. And the left says, oh, you got Fukushima and oh, tidal waves and earthquakes. Well, there's a lot of places in the United States, including here in Arizona, where there's virtually no seismic activity, where you could safely build a power plant and not worry about an earthquake. But the stigma, the Jane Fonda stigma out there from China has scared everybody on nuclear. And more people die mining coal and drilling oil than they do with nuclear fuel. It's unreal. But yet they create this perception that nuclear is this big unsafe thing. We can deal with that. And we've got a ton of oil on our own. You know, we've got the Chinese off the coast of Cuba drilling oil at an angle into the Gulf to try to suck our oil out and use it against it. We've got Canada wanting to pipe it all through the United States down to the Gulf to our refineries. We've got a president that won't let them build the pipeline. And we just had the vote up in the legislature. Al and I were kind of laughing about it, and we shouldn't laugh about this stuff, but it was kind of hypocritical. They were all wailing about these union bills and how we're hurting hard-working Americans, you know, and how we're, you know, taking jobs away or hurting the hard-working guys. And we're like, but you guys just voted to kill a contract or a pipeline program that would create 20,000 jobs for hard-working Americans. And then Senator Millman had a bill to support the Red Rock project up here, which is the rail yard. 2,000 jobs at that place, right? And they voted against it. And we're like, well, hey guys, where are you at now for all the hard-working Arizonans that you keep talking about? All these, you're there to defend the hard-working. We got a bill that's going to create 2,000 jobs here in Arizona. You guys vote against it? But that's the same hypocrisy. They get up there and they, again, it's hype. It's hype. They sell you this hype, and they say, oh, we're for jobs. It's baloney. As they're down here lying to you, they're going up there and they're killing jobs, voting for cap and trade, voting against the Keystone Pipeline. They're killing all sorts of jobs through environmental and regulatory burdens placed on business. And then they come back and tell you they're there to create jobs. And you're like, we're not buying that no more. We've been working, Arizona, maybe you guys haven't heard this because the media doesn't like to announce it and advertise it. Do you know we were 7th in the country last quarter in job creation? Do you know our unemployment rate's dropping twice as fast as the national unemployment rate? Our crime rate, Russell talked, is dropping 3 times faster. It's funny how things are working out. How could that be? We had these draconian cuts to the budget. Everybody predicted the crime rate would skyrocket because all this was going to happen. It's not happening. The doom and gloom isn't there. But they're not out there giving us credit for it. The media will never say that Arizona is now on a sound financial footing for now. Well, we're gonna keep it on that sound financial footing. They're not going to say that we got companies moving into Arizona and creating jobs. They're not going to say that we have companies that are here expanding, creating jobs. They're not going to say that. They're not. Even though we had, again, only 43 other states had worse job growth than the media. We're going to try to be #1, but it's amazing that they don't give us credit. They love pounding on us when things go bad, but they never give us credit when things go good. So, sure.
I would also like for you to point out that you were right in the middle of the redistricting battle.
Oh yeah.
And especially, and none of these other candidates even not a peep at it, not a word to support it, or calling Mathis what she really was and what she really pulled off. And I would just like to point that out. That you were right there in the front, Senator Melvin, Terry Pratt,
right.
And they had the guts to get up and let the media go after you for saying the truth, and none of the other candidates said a word. Not a single one.
Well, 2 of them weren't even in the state to be able to say a word at this time, so you got to remember that.
That's no excuse.
They
can speak from other places.
The other 2, just one of them was literally sitting on the sidelines. That was his day job. So I guess he's used to doing that. And then the other guy, was a young man who lives out in service. He works on Fort Huachuca, and I guess he was kind of working hard doing other things. But yeah, we took the lumps. I got the bumps in the mask, got them. We've been fighting the battle since we hit the ground running in 2008. We've been taking our political lumps. We've had the Arizona Daily Star call us every name in the book. David Fitzsimmons do all these cute cartoons about us. I have some of them on my wall, framed up there that he did. And all of a sudden, these other guys are going to come riding in out of nowhere and say that, well, don't look at Frank Antenori. Yeah, we know he's been there fighting these battles and taking all the political. Vote for us because we just got here and we think we'll be better. That's the thing. So I'm hoping that everybody sees the big Vince.
The draconian cuts that were made in the balanced budget, we went through, it was AB 1001 last year. And, but as we go through, and now that we have better than a balanced budget, we still have debt. There seems to be press, not only from the 9th floor of the governor's office, but also from leadership that wants to start giving some of this back. Could you address how the group of 9 are...
Well, the group of 9 is like the group of 27 now.
I understand.
So Al knows we're there every Monday night with our secret, undisclosed location meetings talking about that.
And I'm thinking that those talks are going on right about now because it's about halfway through. Because, in my opinion, that would be a mistake to start doing givebacks.
We, the Senate, have a budget. We finished it last week. Our membership was briefed on it just this week. We gave it to the governor, and we're waiting for feedback from her. Unfortunately, she's directed her staff not to meet with us or our staff to work out a compromise. It's going to be similar to, as Russell remembers last year when we were in this very position where the governor had her budget that had a bunch of gimmicks and rollovers and some spending in there that we didn't like, and then we rolled our budget out. It was literally, we had to pass our budget out to get her to come and start talking to us. I believe that you will likely see in the next week or so, the Senate pass its budget out. And you will hear a lot of screaming. I can tell you, there's no cuts in the budget. We didn't cut anything. There's no cuts. So the left isn't gonna go crazy and say, oh, you're cutting. There's no cuts. We're holding the line. And there's a small formula increase of $133 million. So there actually is a small spending increase, but that's formula driven that we have to do. And we had some population changes. But the rest of it, we held the line. Like Russell, we eliminated the additional beds for the prisons, 5,000 beds. Our prison population dropped 5%. We don't have to spend any more money. So the governor had money in her budget for prison, and we said, no, we cut that out of our budget. And she had money in there for other stuff. We're like, no, we don't need all this stuff. So we're holding on.
Well, there was talk, if I may, there was talk about pensions, reducing the amount that people had to pay into pension. She was for that potentially, and she was also potentially for accepting the prisoners under 1 year. And she was.
Well, our budget doesn't have that. We are not shifting any costs to the counties for the county jail. No, we're not doing that. And
Let me comment, because there's a real misunderstanding sometimes on that prisoner issue. Historically, from day one, Arizona Constitution or law required prisoners sentenced for less than a year went to the county jails, over a year went to prison. And through the sentencing schemes that have occurred, the state took on part of the county responsibility to defer costs to the counties. And they started housing like DUI offenders in a state prison. When our budget's up, and the counties have done much better than the states have in terms of revenues, because their primary source is property tax. And so they were flush in dollars. The state had the largest deficit in the nation. So we gave them back what was always been there, and that's prisoners under a year. Wasn't dropping it, it was just giving it back to them. We'd given them relief for several years on that, could no longer afford to take that. While they were more flush in cash, we were by a long shot. All we did was give back what historically was theirs. It wasn't a transfer of responsibility to the county, it was just giving them back their responsibilities.
So I'm all in agree with that. I just don't want to take.
No, and that policy is not going to be changed.
You're gonna see, our budget is about $8.4 billion. That's the budget that we're gonna roll out. The governor's is, I think, 9.1 is what she has in hers. There will be some give and take. That's the sausage process. So she'll come down a little, we'll come down. We did that last year. We gave her, some, she gave us some. That's the